Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, each week we play a chapter or a segment or a timed interval of a game, and then we talk about it.
Yes.
And of course, you are also able to talk about this topic with us if you go ahead and play along with us in this game that we are currently playing. And that game is Yakuza 0.
What a game.
Down below, there's a link to the Purple Room Studios Discord. Yes. And in there is a forum post where you can talk about your weekly adventure in Kamurocho or Sorrento?
No, it's oh my god, Sotenbori.
Sotenbori, yeah.
Yes. Couldn't remember.
You can play along with us. We've currently just wrapped up chapter 10.
Yep.
What a chapter.
We were playing as Kiryu.
Kiryu, yep.
Yep. And yeah, it was a good chapter. It didn't, well, the cliffhanger at the end of this one was not as good, I felt, as the previous two chapters. Actually, I guess the last chapter didn't have a cliffhanger either.
No.
But the end of the Majima chapter had like a crazy cliffhanger.
Yeah.
But this one, the start of this one is we've been rescued by Tachibana.
Yep.
And we have to lay low.
Yep.
And get out of town.
Yep.
Because we're wanted by Dojima clan and the police still. And so we have to like go wait in the bum village overnight, basically.
Yes. Before
I did the bum village, though, I ran through town and did some real estate, you know, as you have to keep up on your business.
Of course.
You know, so I did that. I didn't do too much of it, though. I was playing last night, so I didn't have a whole bunch of time to mess about, but I did, you know, a few rounds of real estate management. Accidentally did a couple side quests. I joined a MLM in the game.
No?
Selling AHA water.
More water, huh?
Yeah, I got some AHA water that I have to sell. I got scammed for $1 million, so.
Oh, yeah, I did that one.
Yeah.
It's the old lady with her AHA water.
Yeah.
I wrote into the radio about that, and they didn't like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that wasn't one of the ones that they chose.
I already finished the radio one, so I don't even get a chance to write those stories in.
So when I was doing it, because I did a lot of real estate this chapter as well, I went in and I bought everything I could, and I just made as much money because I knew where we were going.
Yeah.
And we were leaving Kamurocho.
Yeah.
So I did as much as I could to level up as much as I could.
Yeah.
And I got most of Electronic Kings, and I started working on Gambling King and Pleasure King.
Oh, yeah.
I've got more Gambling King than I do Pleasure King, because I just, whenever I had like 300 mil, I'd just go up to Gambling King and purchase.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's where you make the most money, right?
I just was like working on the Electronics King, because it was like right there.
Yeah. I got most of Electronic Kings. Like, that's what I was doing for the most of the week while I was stressed out. I was like, all right, let's do real estate.
Nice.
Because I was like, I'm buying real estate.
Nice. I completed the first one, Ledger King. That's all done. And then, I was working on the Electronics King. I had a little battle with him playing Outrun. He beat me.
Oh, yeah. I got 1 million points.
I got to like 3 million, but then I crashed. And I literally, like, the checkpoint was like on the screen. It was like I was a millimeter away from the checkpoint, dude. It was crazy. It was like literally, you couldn't even read checkpoint. It was just a little portion of the sign left. So I could have probably done it, but man. Yeah, it was just like, fuck.
So we learn a lot in this chapter. We learn a ton.
We do.
Because like we go to the hospital in Little Asia.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that was part of Kamurocho.
Neither did I.
Because I was like, oh, look at this crazy area they made. And they were walking through like the little back alleys. It must have been like sealed off before and you couldn't see it on the map or whatever. Because when we left and came on, I'm like, oh, this is just in Kamurocho. Yeah. Like this whole area. That's crazy.
Yeah. And we learn as Tachibana's laying on the bed doing whatever. I can't remember what it is. That's like dialysis or something like that.
Yeah, he's dialysis.
He's got his shirt off. And we can see his arm.
Tattoo.
And he's got the bat tattoo, which Makimura is looking for.
Yeah.
So Tachibana and Makimura are linked.
Yep. And also we found out that Tachibana and Oda are Chinese. They're not Japanese. They're legally in Japan somehow. Somehow Tachibana can run a real estate company while being in the country illegally. I didn't ask too many questions.
Yeah. But they were both Chinese mafia, ex-Chinese mafia, which is crazy.
Yeah. And then, you know, we got to go talk to the leader of the Chinese mafia in Kamurocho.
Yeah.
See, hey, can Kiryu hide out here? And he's like, nope.
Chen's like, no.
He's got to go.
Even. He's ex Yakuza, and Yakuza have done us wrong, so he can't stay here.
So their idea is like, you got to lay low. The only way to lay low is to go sleep in the park. And it's just like, can't they just find a hotel or something?
No, they'll track you to a hotel.
Yeah.
But in the park with the bums, you're good.
Like, even if they like got 14 hotel rooms at 14 different hotels.
Right.
Anyways, so we go to the park and we meet the guys we bought. One of the guys we bought a booze for earlier in the game. They don't ever give this guy a name. He's just like bearded homeless man.
Bearded homeless man, yeah.
And we stay in his shack. Pretty nice little shack he had.
Nice,
he's got
little
power,
shack.
TV.
Yeah.
He's got a little chair in there, bed, everything, you know. Not too bad. We're chilling out there. Did you do any of the gambling there?
I did one of the gambling, and I was like, meh.
I didn't even bother.
I did. Yeah, there's a lot of different dice games, card games that you can play around the homeless camp. I did one dice game. I won jackpot big time, and I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll check them out later, but I didn't bother.
I ran around looking for things I could buy, maybe some phone cards.
Yeah, I found 2 phone cards in there.
I think I only found one.
There was one down the middle row, and then there was one by the fountain.
Okay, I got the one by the fountain. I didn't run.
Yeah, there's like a middle row that you can run down. I'm sure we can go back there later.
Probably.
This part kind of reminded me a bit of Yakuza or Like a Dragon, because at the start of that game, basically Ichiban gets kicked out of the Yakuza, and then he's like homeless, and he lives in a bum village.
Yeah. And
he befriends a bum, and then these Chinese mafia guys come in, and they're like trying to shake down the bums, and Ichiban beats the shit out of them.
And so that's kind of what happens here.
Yeah.
When you're sleeping in the homeless man's tent, you wake up to some punks
commotion.
Coming in. Yeah. And you get out there, and these
beat the shit out of them.
Yeah. They're the homeless hunters is what they're known as, and they just go around beating up homeless guys.
Yeah.
Which is like, what the frig?
I know. So when we beat them down, then they're like, I'm sorry, let me go. I'm sorry. And Kiryu's like, don't apologize to me. And he throws him at the bearded homeless guy.
Yeah.
And he's like, is this your bat? You were going to break my head open with this bat, so it must be your bat. And he's like, please don't. You're a psycho. Don't do it. And then all you see is he raises the bat up, and I'm like, did he do it?
And then the scene cuts. There's no sound.
Yeah.
The scene just cuts. You're like, oh my God.
So did he do it or didn't he? I don't know.
Right?
I'm going to say he didn't do it because there's no police presence the next day. So next day,
Oda picks you up.
Oda picks us up, and he's like, we're going to take you somewhere. It's somewhere you're familiar with, but it's a bit of a surprise.
It's going to be a big surprise.
And he's just like, I'm like, oh, it's just... Anyways, I know when we got there, I was like, oh, that's why he didn't tell him, because he probably would have jumped out of the truck.
Yeah.
Because we go to Tojo clan headquarters.
Yes.
To meet the leader of, the temporary...
The acting leader
of the Tojo clan. Because Tachibana is going to, like, negotiate.
Yep.
For Kiryu's life. And there was a cool scene where Tachibana's talking to the guy. And
it's super cool.
You know, telling him why he wants to do it and why he should help them out, because he's like, the what are they called? Dojima clan is already like powerful, the most powerful one, and if they get more powerful, like, the little guys aren't going to look after they're not going to listen to the new big guys aren't going to listen to the guy in charge because they're bigger than him.
Yeah.
And it's in your best interest if you let me get the lot. And I want you to call off the murder of Kiryu. Here's 500 million yen. And if we know that it's called off, I'll give you another 500 million. You should help us out here.
It was a super dope scene, super dope setting where it's like, the almost like the head table, but it's just like chairs around for all the head of the mafias, the Yakuzas.
But as it was going on, I'm like, I got 500 million bucks in my pocket, bro.
Right?
Like, that ain't shit, dog. So,
so he's eventually going to pay him $1 billion.
Yeah.
Plot and keep Dojima, Dojima clan.
He's going to be a Tachibana.
Yeah.
Kiryu's going to work for Tachibana, basically.
Well, yeah, Kiryu already does.
Well, I mean, but he's going to be... Well, then, anyways, the boss guy, I can't remember his name, is like, okay, he's Tojo clan property now.
Yeah.
Call off the hits. So they have a deal, but then it's like, well, the deal's not done until you actually leave the clan headquarters.
Yeah.
So if they can kill you guys on the way out, they'll just keep the 500 million. But if you get out, then we'll call it off. Yeah. So we have to fight our way out. Man, oh man, I went beast mode on these boys.
Oh yeah.
I switched to brawler style, I think. Just fucking huge swings. Big kick, knocked 6 guys down. It was crazy.
Yeah, man. That was...
I beat the shit out of these guys.
Oh yeah, it was great.
And then there's a little quick time event where like Oda throws a sword to you or you're having a little duel. It's crazy. Looked cool as hell.
Yeah, that was a really, really cool sequence of events. Getting to the clan headquarters and like, nope, it's tradition.
Yeah.
You have to make it out alive.
I also was very shocked when I'm fighting because like Kiryu's like, okay, Oda, look after Tachibana, and then I fight the guys in the foyer, whatever, and then we go back and we have to fight the other guys. And as I'm fighting, I'm like, holy fuck, Tachibana's fighting too.
Oh yeah,
like
everyone's
doing
fighting.
Kicks and shit like that. I was like, oh shit, this is crazy. Yeah, it was quite the epic battle. They were like pretty easy dudes to beat because there were so many.
There were a metric ton of them.
Yeah, there was a couple guys that were a little tougher, but
like the first sword guy, he was a little bit tougher.
Yeah,
the second sword guy's a little bit tougher, but yeah,
it was
pretty easy.
Pretty
overall.
easy after that.
Yeah, I found out like when I was playing, like some of these guys just take 0 damage. Like after this event, you're supposed to go to the
restaurant.
The restaurant. And you learn that you're gonna go to Sotenbori.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh, here it comes, the biggest crossover event in history.
Right,
it's coming right now. I'm like, yes, it's gonna be great. But in between going there and doing that, after we get out of the Tojo Clan headquarters, I did a lot of real estate stuff.
Oh, even more, eh?
Yeah. Nice. That's where I spent the majority of my time, was just like days of real estate.
Oh yeah,
and just like doing heat finishers just destroys people.
Yeah.
I'm like, punch, no damage. Heat finisher, just like they're just dead. Like all the health, no, none of the health.
I like it. Right now I'm using rush mode because I have one of my completion things is to like defeat 200 guys in rush mode.
Yeah.
And then the main one I do is I knock them down and then I just fucking kick them down the road.
Yeah, that's just so much damage.
But also, when I was doing it last night, I got to a part where I had to fight off some dudes that were like infiltrating like one of the districts.
Yeah.
And as I go there to start the fight, my like security guy runs up to fight me, right? And did you know that you can do combo attacks with those guys?
I didn't know that. No.
I did combo finisher where like he picked him up and did this huge pile driver, and then I just stomped on his face. It was so crazy. Oh my god, I couldn't believe it.
So I think that those guys will only come and help you. Like even on a regular fight, they'll come and help you. But I think it's only when you have, depending on what size of territory that you own from that person.
Well, yeah, and also like their ability as a security guard.
Yeah. So like the stop and search guy, wherever I would put him, he was always there.
Oh yeah, he's
like
the one
every time.
He's the one that I did the combo attack with.
Yeah.
And then another guy, I can't remember. I think he's the dork that worked for the Leisure King that I recruited.
Yeah.
But once we beat the guys down, he was still there in the street, and he was like, the guy was down on the ground, like all like beat up, and he was like holding on to his face and pulling it back. It looked so crazy.
And I think depending on what your security rating in that zone is, of course, I believe it, lessens the amount of time that somebody's going to infiltrate and try and cause problems. But I also think it reduces the difficulty of the people that have infiltrated.
I think so. Yeah, I was just beating the shit out of the guys. I found another. Did you ever do the Miracle Johnson quest?
I just got it when I was bumming around there.
There's a second Miracle Johnson quest where I think I have to do a dance off with him. I haven't done that yet. It was one of the ones I found last night. So
I was going around doing as many side quests as I could so I could unlock more more people. Because I need more advisors. Because my only advisor that does food and shopping is like a 1-star. So not very good.
Yeah, I have the fortune teller. And she's a whatever it is, 3-star, 4-star, but she also has double circles in one of them.
Yeah.
So when I use her, it costs 28 million yen, but it's like it fills up so fast. So yeah, I like that sort of system, but it's a little basic.
It is a little bit basic, but you need to like I had to like go back and read the manual so I could figure out like what the hell it was even doing.
Oh yeah. Once you have the zone unlocked, you don't even need a security guard, really.
Yeah.
Well, no, they never counterattack. You beat the guy.
Yeah.
So, like, the main zone that the the Leisure King was in, I own that whole zone.
Yeah.
So I put the worst like
Worst
security guard on there and my best manager.
Yeah.
So I get more money. So yeah, it's good times.
I finally got the last place for there, which was the sushi gin place.
Oh,
so you had to befriend that guy, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll befriend this guy and I'll get a better restaurant shopping zone guy. But no, it's not it. He does the same thing that one restaurant guy does in Sotenbori, where you get weapons and stuff.
There's also the girl that runs the convenience store. If you become friends with her, she gives you the convenience store.
Yeah, I got that one. So I have everything unlocked in the Leisure King. I have almost everything unlocked except for the Sega arcade in the Electronics King.
Oh yeah.
I've got 2-3 of the zones in the Gambling King. Those pay out so much money.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy. Like if you have a couple hundred, go up there and get a territory, because it's just gonna increase your earnings by a ton.
I guess now it's gonna be a couple chapters before I'm
Kiryu
again, so I'll be doing a lot of cabaret clubs starting next time I play.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see what this crossover is gonna be like. If we're going to I'm curious as to if we're gonna have to fight.
Yeah,
at some point, because then it's like
I think they team up more than anything, but we didn't actually say like what happened.
No,
like we know what happened, but like
yes.
You know, Tachibana and Kiryu have a heart-to-heart again on the dock, sitting on the dock of the bay. Yep. And Kiryu's like, well, I'm going to Sotenbori. I'm not going to sit around here. And Oda's like, I'm going with him too. We're going to figure this out. And he's like, okay, sounds good. Before you go, come to the restaurant again. We'll have a meeting. I'll tell you about the owner of the empty lot.
Yeah.
And we go have the meeting at the restaurant. And Tachibana tells us that, what was Sugimura? Is that his name? He's like, someone else also knows the owner of the lot.
Uh-huh.
It's the Sagawa clan or something like that?
Yeah, it's the other clan.
But he's a member of the Dojima clan. He's like one of the underlings, but it's the Sagawa family. I can't remember the guy's name.
Something like that.
Apparently he knows it. He's working with the leader of the Dojima clan because he wants to step over Kuze and Awano. Yeah. So he's like, I can deliver the lot to you. So he probably knows the owner. So he's probably working with the Oni Alliance trying to get the owner of the lot. But Tachibana is like, the owner of the lot is like a partially blind girl named Makimoto.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, you called it. You called it.
Well, I mean, like, I don't want to say like it's like I figured it out, but it's like
when you were talking, when you were saying that this is probably how it's going to be, I was like, that's too obvious. There's no way they're going to do it.
That's why I thought it was like that. It's so obvious. But
it's so obvious.
There has to be a reason that they're going to intertwine. Like Majima and Kiryu. There has to be an interlining thing. Yeah. And he's defending it. He wants to get it. It just made sense that would be the thing, right?
I thought it was a little bit too obvious, but there you go.
Yeah. So she's the owner of the lot. Who knows what's going to happen? I have a feeling like...
How is she the owner? Why is she the owner of the lot? If she was in...
Well, I remember she said like her parents abandoned her or whatever. Or she lost her parents. It's probably going to come out that her parents was like, I don't know, some...
Chinese mafia?
Something like that, you know? Something like that. But I have a feeling it's going to be like... Well, Kiryu's a good guy. Yeah. So he's not going to like... kill this girl. Yeah. They're gonna work together to protect her, and
for sure. But is Tachibana gonna end up being a bad guy?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
He kind of already is. So. And especially since he's the one who had Makimura in the cage.
Well, did he? It was the Oni Alliance, didn't they?
Yeah. Well, and it's the bat tattoo, but it's the bat tattoo.
Yeah, but all we know is they want find the guy with the bat tattoo. There's nothing about like why they want to find the guy with the bat tattoo. Just that he's a bad guy.
Yeah, well, and she said that tattoo was the last thing she ever saw.
But that's
when she was
probably
in the cage.
The Chinese mafia tattoo.
Yeah, it could be
like
for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions still. We'll see. I imagine that Tachibana is probably going to be a bad guy. Not from anything in the story, but just from the fact that I don't think he's in any of the other games. Yeah. Not that I've played the other games, but I don't think he's in the other games. So yeah, I'm excited to play. And it's like the last time we played in Majima, it was like a whole like someone came in, there's exploding car and like.
Oh yeah, and what's his face is dead. The God Hands.
Well, we don't know if he's dead.
He was in an exploding car.
Well, he could have dove.
I mean,
you know?
he took a bullet and was like, whatever.
We didn't see him die, but
No.
like, what's his name? The boss guy. Was that Sagawa?
Yeah, Sagawa.
Yeah, he gets shot. He's
by
definitely dead.
Who knows who?
And then some other dudes there, like, what the fuck? So did he help them? Is he here, going to capture them? Like, who the fuck knows?
Right?
So I'm excited to see.
Yes, definitely.
What's coming up next with the game.
100%.
Yeah, so
It's gonna be good.
So good.
Yep. And that is going to bring us to the end of this podcast, everybody. If you liked what you heard, make sure to give us a review.
Yeah.
Share us with a friend.
Yeah.
Get us out there so that we're in more people's ear holes. Because if you like us, maybe they will too.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And if you are currently watching this live, make sure you stick around for Weebus Plebus, which is our other podcast based on anime.
I love anime.
Yes. And with that being said, we'll see you guys again in 1 week's time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.